Hi everybody. Today you're getting a twofer because I'm stuck in the house because it's so snowy and I'm bored. So I thought we would continue on with what we're learning about narcissist. And I wanted to just maybe, talk about the insults and lies that narcissists bring into our world. Now we all have relationships where we chide somebody, we rib somebody, we pick on them just a little bit, we talk about things that we find annoying yet cute at the same time. Those are not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the things that someone says to you that is said with contempt, that is said to hurt, that is said to get an emotional response from you that is going to facilitate their power over you. And when I say that, I don't mean like she can't cook but I love her anyway. You know, those are kind of like inside jokes between husbands and wives that we kind of pick on throughout our whole life, and they don't really hurt. And if we told our loved one that they hurt, they would stop. That's the big thing. But when you find someone that spits out really horrible insults that hurt, and you know that if you tell them they would not stop, you may just be handling a narcissist. Sometimes you have to get into the relationship to see them unfold. And sometimes you can identify them by their practices and behavior and actions. It's different for every scenario, and it's different for every level of manipulation that a narcissist has put under their belt in their lifetime. So you just have to take it as you see it individually with each one, because they all have different skills and different manipulation standards. It's just weird. But those insults that really hurt are, I know why your mother never loved you. You've got to be the worst person on the planet. I can't believe I'm attending this event with you. Now everyone's going to know that we're together. Those type of insults. Those really big, I want to hurt you, I want power over you, I want you to feel detached. I want you to feel isolated. I want you to feel like you are stunted somehow when you try to expect intimacy. And I want you to always turn to me so that I can do this again and again and again and again and again. Now, some people say, oh, but we only really insult the people that we love. We only really attack the ones we love. We all have heard that. Wrong. We attack the people we think will never leave. Therefore, if they're attacking you, they think that you don't have the ability to leave. And that's where a narcissist usually places their aim. They look for people that they do not believe will be strong. They don't believe they will be strong enough to leave. And they know that they can continue to oppress them until they're done. Basically, it's like giving a dog a new toy, a new bone, and they're just going to play with it until another new bone that's better arrives. And, the bone has no say-so. It doesn't get to say how long it's chewed on, how many days it has to live with the dog, or when it's done. The dog does. And then he throws the bone away and goes to the next one. And that is kind of, the way that a narcissist uses people. They see them as tools. They see them as tools to get what they want, tools to get the emotional needs they need met, tools to feel the power that they need to feel. And they also use them because they're scared of intimacy. So they like relationships where they can throw out an insult and it detaches you. Like, have you ever had somebody insult you so bad that you kind of went back and put a block over your heart? And you were still with them, but you just kind of went, not today, I don't understand this person. And you just kind of detached. Narcissists don't really like intimacy. They like a perceived intimacy. So they like the intimacy where they can introduce you as their loved one, drag you around and show you off, benefit from your skills, your talents, your book smarts, your education, your job. But when it comes to actually being a vulnerable person and having real intimacy, they're terrified of it. So when they feel that you are asking too much of them, they will often insult you so that you will detach, and so that you fear intimacy and they don't have to provide it. Very important things. But we hear these things that narcissists tell us, and many people go, oh, that should have been a red flag. If you're in a relationship and you've repeatedly had a pattern of behavior where you're being insulted or you're being treated poorly, and then all of a sudden they say, don't worry, I'm going to work on me so I can be better for you. Almost everybody can probably pick that out. But when it's said in the moment, they're really good. They're really good about explaining what they're going to do. And they may mean it in the moment, but it never translates to actually, coming to fruition. They're just absolutely incapable of putting someone else first. And that is one of the biggest issues with narcissists. And that is why they love power, because they very rarely get another endorphin rush. Because intimacy and love and true vulnerability is so hard for them that really the only thing that they really feed off of is that arrogance, ego, and that endorphin rush from all of those things. If you've got a narcissist that is saying, I'll never do that again. I love you too much to do that again. Okay, that's a contradictory sentence. You should kind of be able to pick that one out anyway. If they say certain things like, I'm going to work harder, it will get better in the future. And that it will never get better in the future. So they always say they're going to do something now that's going to pay off later, or they're going to change something about them to benefit you. But that, they say that there's going to be an exchange, which is something that is lacking in those relationships. So they know that's what you want. You want an exchange. You want to feel as though they're offering something to the relationship just as much as you. And so they offer that exchange in the moment because they know that's what you need to hear and you want to hear, and that's how they're going to continue to manipulate you. But it never happens. It never happens. And now we have people that are just in our life that may say these random phrases, and they're not narcissists. It just, potentially has a different meaning or actually does have love behind it. So you have to be very careful to understand being in an active relationship with a narcissist and just hearing these phrases from actual people that do love you, because people that love us can hurt us from time to time as well. But a narcissist will repeatedly, profoundly, and passionately tear you apart. It is what they thrive upon. And be sure to understand that these little lessons are not a replacement for actual clinical therapeutic intervention. This is just something that I do so that you can say, oh, here's a skill. Here's a little tidbit. I can apply this. You're not going to be able to fix anything. This is not a therapeutic intervention. This is just an education. This is just a little snippet of things that I have gleaned from my time in doing these things. And so if you are in a very profoundly unhappy relationship and you're starting to see some of these red flags, I would urge you to go and see a professional that is actively counseling right now. I'm no longer actively counseling, so this is just advice from me. I would seek out a professional and talk to them. But be aware, the biggest issue with narcissists is that when they get tangled up with someone like a single mother with children, the role play that they put on with that mother is absorbed by those children, and then those children grow up to almost walk right into narcissistic relationships themselves. And so it creates a cycle. But these children who have never been in an appropriate relationship don't know how to understand that that's inappropriate because that's all they saw between mom and the narcissist. So it's very important that we find these truly happy, correct relationships where we are praised, where we are loved, and if we are chided, it is a chiding, it's a ribbing. It's said with a gleam in the eye and a little bit of mischief and a little poke, but it's not said with contempt and hate. You've got to know the difference. And of course, if you ask somebody that loves you to stop, they will stop. A narcissist will not. But make sure that you understand that the only one that can handle the narcissist relationship with you is you. No one else can step in. It's just going to turn into a multi-tiered power struggle. The only person that can truly, if you choose to try to fix it, if you choose to end it, whatever you choose to do, the only person that can put down new boundaries and change the relationship or end the relationship is you. So bringing out, outside help in is just going to muddy the waters and create like a multi-level marketing of narcissism, and it's not going to be a good environment. So don't do that. So these are some of the little lies, some of the little insults, and some of the little dynamics that narcissists like to also create. So this is episode 2. I'm going to take a different road tomorrow and talk about some different stuff, but we're going to continue this narcissist training so that you start to spot a lot of these behaviors, because society truly has become toxic. Narcissism truly has become a standard way to treat people, and to change it, we have to talk about it and educate others and request an appropriate relationship and be able to explain what we mean. The power of words. Well, that's all for tonight. Y'all got a twofer. Mama Liz out.